So we will not speak much and go directly to the poem. This is dedicated to the Indian School of Development Management, batch of 2018 and 19, presenting to you today How to Be a Person.
One, find your voice. Know that not all languages contain words. Your voice could be music.
It could be dance.
It is what expresses you most sincerely.
Your voice is an art.
So if your heart is broken,
You make art with the pieces.
2, remember that you are an artist. Regardless of how constantly the world will try to drive it out of you.
Or how our real jobs will sometimes bury the part of us that communicates our feelings when language fades. You are an artist. Whether it's with food or building robots, you will know your medium the instant you realize how in love you are with what it brings out of you. You are an artist, my friend.
3, apologize. You will not always be right,
You will not always be wrong either.
but hopefully, you will always be learning. Atonement is a sacrifice of pride. An explanation of why you did what you did, or said what you said, will not vindicate you. Therefore, to cost heal someone is only your pride.
Then apologize and be grateful to God that you received peace as such a bargain. 4, forgive. Know that some people are still learning. And if forgiveness is difficult, then think of everything you've ever wanted to be forgiven for, but you would not. And hold that uneasiness into your mind until you feel your desire for absolution becoming a wish. Realize that you can grant this wish for others.
If you're waiting for forgiveness, then be prepared to wait. Be prepared to stand in the path of time and wither. Respect that forgiveness is difficult. And not all trespassers are equal, and not everyone will heal according to your schedule.
5, accept that farting is very funny. It is funny indeed. Granted, not always appropriate and sometimes unpleasant too. But if you cannot laugh, if you are more offended by a fart in your life than by a war, a famine, political corruption, deforestation, racism, sexism, classism, the wrongfully imprisoned, the treatment of women, the foreclosing on homes while banks' debts are forgiven. If a fart in life offends you more than any of these, you are not a person, my friend. You are not. And you cannot be helped. Join a cult or have some Kool-Aid.
6, love. Know that love is a vulnerability, but not a weakness. Love is a volunteer in you that raises its hand and steps forward without needing to be rewarded. Love is the only currency that functions in reverse. So the only way to be wealthy with it is to give more and more of it away.
7, do not laugh to fit in. Your laughter should be the most honest thing on this earth. If there is no sincerity in your joy, your happiness will be a forgery that fools no one, but only yourself. 8, do not fear to be hated, but be cautious towards those inhabited by hate. You will be hated regardless of who you are, what you say, or what you do. You will be hated for your successes
Or your failures.
For your good looks,
or your bad looks,
for your intelligence,
or your stupidity. Hate is the child of the hater, nurtured by the belief it is fed. You often will have no control over what you're hated for. Know that antipathy becomes the master of its owner. So if you're going to be hated regardless of who you are, then be fearless enough to be who you want to be. Because hate is no more eloquently articulated than in the poetry of expression, not your freaking problem.
9. Try. The tiniest dream that you try to make happen is worth more than the biggest dream you never attempt. So try, and try, my friend.
10. Be savagely thankful and continuously in awe of the power you possess. You are alive inside of an endless cosmos with the freedom that shines the brightest in the dark. Choices.
Your choices belong to you so intimately that they will never leave you. Never. They, unlike the changing nature of love, where the failing machinery of our bodies will never abandon us to time. Good or bad, they will always be there.
Like an antique that shows the future of who you were and what you stood for. So know that what you choose to stand for is what will inform you of what you have chosen to stand against. So stand.
Let your each foot crash land into what you believe, and then plant them there firmly, so that it may take roots in your conviction and stand. Thank you.